So Google recently announced a new change in most of their websites. It's going to affect almost all Google services, and that is the little Google menu that appears at the top of their services. And the menu has been changed fairly recently, actually. They kind of Androidified it a little bit, made it a little darker color, added a few options, especially with Google Plus. They added Google Plus notifications to the right of it. And today, they're changing it up even more. They're actually doing away with it mostly, and they're kind of revising it, putting things in new locations. And well, I'll just show you what I mean. So let's go to Firefox, and just so you know, this is not available to the public yet. I actually kind of did a little hack to get this. And if you watch my next video, there will be a link in the description and annotation somewhere around here right now. My next video shows you how exactly to get the new bar. So watch that video for step-by-steps on how to do that. But this video is showing you the new bar, and it looks like this. So it's this big gray thing up here. It says Google, and it has a drop-down of the Google services. And if we continue, we get all the way to the right over here, and we get notifications and such info concerning Google Plus and your entire Google account, actually. And you can click on this and view stuff, and you got your notifications, your account info, you got your share button here. So that's all the same, but the bar has actually gotten a lot bigger in terms of width and everything. You would think that they would downsize it a little bit, I don't know. But they actually got rid of all these buttons that used to be up here. They just had the Google logo and then the drop down, which is actually quite nice. I really like the style of it. Now let's take a look at it. This is just the regular Google.com search engine. Let's take a look at what this looks like on other sites. First, let's go to Google Plus, which is the first link in the drop down. And they add a little bit more to it. This is actually not very new to Google Plus people. We've had these buttons up here in Google Plus for a while. However, we just had another bar, and so we have the drop down on the Google logo now, and we have a search Google Plus bar, and then everything else is the same. So that is Google Plus for you. So let's go to Images now, Google Images. And basically same thing. We'll go to Google Maps. Again, same thing. You got a search bar up there now. We'll go to YouTube. And here the bar kind of goes away, which is where there's a little bit of corruption inside of Google services. And it's always been like this. YouTube never had the Google bar. Ever since, Google bought YouTube, they really took an effort to linking YouTube and Google accounts. However, they didn't add Google qualities to YouTube. And I think it would be really nice if they would add something similar, where if you hover over the YouTube icon, you can go to different Google services. I think that would be awesome. And maybe even over here, when you click on your account, there will be, maybe a little thing off to the side next to these, My Channel and Video Manager and all that. Maybe over here, maybe something with Google Plus, like your notification count or something. Or maybe even like right here next to your avatar picture, your notification count. When you click on it, it'll bring up Google Plus notifications. So there's a little bit of corruption here. Maybe not corruption, but a lack of uniformity here on YouTube. And it's always been like that, and they just changed the YouTube layout, so I hope they kind of change it maybe a little bit again and add some more of the new Google.com options to YouTube, since they're both Google stuff, and YouTube is now heavily woven into Google ever since Google bought it. So that is my one rant about this new Google bar, that it doesn't carry through into YouTube. But if we go back to Google and to the Google bar, the Google bar is also on News. It's the same thing. we'll go to Gmail, and it is not in Gmail yet. You'll see no Gmail. However, they do say in their little message here, Gmail is getting a new look soon. So if we go to their blog post about this, it doesn't look like they're changing much. I don't see the bar up there or anything. So, but I'm assuming the bar is going to be coming very soon. So just wait for that. But it's not in Gmail yet. If we go to Google Docs, it is in Google Docs. And same thing. So the bar overall is pretty uniform to Google services, with the exception of YouTube. It's a safe assumption to say it will be coming to Google Docs. I think that's pretty much guaranteed. But YouTube, I don't think they're going to do that, and I don't understand why. I really think they should, in some way, put the Google bar on YouTube. Again, I think it should be very similar to this. However, when you roll over the YouTube logo, you get this option menu. There's one thing I don't like about this bar, and it is that when you click on the Google logo, nothing happens. It actually just toggles on and off the drop-down menu. Now, I kind of miss being able to click on the Google logo to go back to google.com real easily. There's just sometimes you're in Google Docs and you want to go make a web search, so you just click on the Google logo. That's just me, that's what I did, and so I'm going to miss that, but that's alright. That's not that big of a deal. So why did Google change this up? Why did they decide to all of a sudden make the Google bar different? Well, according to Google, they wanted to save you some precious space. That bar was in fact taking up some space because before this new bar, we had two bars actually. We had the regular Google bar, which had all of these options. It had your Google Plus settings, and that was that little black thing that appeared at top. And then we had the search bar, which was below that. So what they've done is they've actually combined those two bars, which I think is a very good move for kind of compressing everything to, one, give you more screen space, and two, also make things a lot simpler to use and pleasing to the eye, basically. Now, a lot of people have been complaining about the changes that Google has been making to all their sites, especially YouTube. And, people, can you please calm down? The changes really aren't that bad. In fact, I really like them. They look like Android. I love the user interface of Android, and they're kind of Androidifying everything. And I actually really like the changes. They look more modern, more technological. It's hard to describe, but I think they're very nice changes. More contemporary, I should say. And they're really nice color schemes and everything. I just personally really like all the changes, especially the YouTube changes. I think Google is doing a great job at changing everything up and all together. It isn't like we're getting a change here and there in different parts of the year. We're getting these changes basically all at the same time, which is really nice. That all at once everything is uniformly changing, which is kind of hard to do if you think about it. Since Google is such a large corporation, they have all of these websites, all of these services that they offer, and to all of a sudden change their entire user interface is a very big task, and I think they've went about it very well, and I don't think it's for nothing. I think they've done a great job with the user interface changes, and I really like them. So tell me what you guys think about the general user interface changes that Google has pushed, and also about the new Google Bar. And don't forget, if you want to try out the new Google Bar right now, go ahead and check out my new video. There will be an annotation on here, and also a link in the description to check out that video of how to get the Google Bar. And I will see you guys in the next video.